Hey, guys. Only a few games left of the Stanley Cup Finals.
2-5.
2-5. Maybe even less at this point, depending upon when you're watching it.
Right.
We recorded this on a Monday. But hey, I just want to throw this out here. If you want to get in on the action before the game starts, live and play, how your favorite player performs, doing it right since 1997. You know Sports Interaction is Canada's sportsbook. Join now to see that all that sports betting has to offer. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That is sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus, and please play responsibly. And I am very proud of this. Okay. Gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Let's rewind to the 2021 playoffs. What sticks out to you about the 2021 playoffs, not including the Leafs falling apart?
The magical run of the Montreal Canadiens.
What did the Montreal Canadiens look their best throughout that run?
When?
I
would say...
There was moments. Jesse knows what I'm talking about. He knows where I'm going with this.
There's a man that Adam hates more than anybody in the world.
I don't hate this man.
I don't know why he's his arch nemesis, but he is.
I don't hate this man. He's a good man.
No, it's not out of hatred of Dominic Ducharme. It's out of respect for Luke Richardson.
Correct. Who is officially the head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Really?
I had no idea that, what's his face? Who's their interim head coach?
Guy. I don't know.
Okay, let's put
I'll be honest with you. There have been other stories out of Chicago this year I was a little more focused on.
Derek King.
Thank you.
Derek King. I always thought that Derek King was their head coach. I didn't realize
he was interim either.
He was interim.
Andrew Burnett
was
too.
open.
Andrew Burnett.
Andrew Burnett's, that's a whole other thing we discussed. But like, he didn't have the job this whole time?
I mean, they were cucka. They're cucka inside and out.
Wow.
They're hoping to de-cuckaify themselves.
I don't like your pronunciation of cucka.
So Richardson played 1,400 NHL games, was drafted by the Leafs, I think ended his career with the Leafs. 8 years as an NHL assistant and 4 years as the AHL head coach. He was my pick to be Montreal's head coach. Marty St. Louis has been a great fit there. But the best the Montreal Canadiens looked was when Dom Ducharme had to sit out because he tested positive for COVID. Now, that's unfortunate circumstances. Obviously, you don't want that. But you have to say, this guy, this is a person that finally, it's like a little bit of new blood, but really not really.
Well, highly respected coach, and he's had a long road, really earned his coaching stripes. He's had some personal tragedy as well. And nice to see him rewarded, And like with the Blackhawks, I mean, that's a culture thing, and the head coach is obviously part of rebuilding and fixing a culture, but it goes a little bit above his head. So let's not lay all that at Luke Richardson.
I certainly wasn't. I hope you don't think
no,
was.
I don't. I'm his job though is Herculean. He has to make the Chicago Blackhawks good.
I don't think the Montreal Canadiens dominate Vegas. I don't know if they beat Vegas if Luke Richardson isn't the coach.
Man, Vegas looked like shit.
But I think he maximized what Montreal was. Like, you go back and watch that series, honestly, like, nobody thought going in that Montreal stood a fucking chance there. Yeah. And that team, boy, they played great under him.
You know what Chicago needs? A goalie.
Yes.
So now I'm doing the wrong thing that everyone does when a new head coach gets hired, who's had success in the past. I go, all right, who plays who on the other team? Well, Chicago doesn't have a Carey Price, so let's get rid of that. Mm-hmm. I don't think they have a Shea Weber either. Mm-hmm. The Leafs signed their Philip Deneau and David Kampf. Sorry, not Norris. Selke vote getter David Kampf.
Right.
That's the thing that happened.
Can I read Adam in particular? Mm-hmm. I want to read both of you, but Adam in particular. This paragraph from Eric Engels on Luke Richardson not becoming the Montreal Canadiens head coach. Mm-hmm. From Eric Engels. Had Richardson met the prerequisite of being able to communicate in French, he'd have been the logical choice to replace Dominic Ducharme behind the Canadiens bench in February, especially after he helped the Canadiens guide the Canadiens past the Vegas Golden Knights and through the first couple of games of the 2021 Stanley Cup Final in Ducharme's absence due to COVID-19. Because he didn't and still doesn't, the Canadiens have been expecting other teams to come calling, to potentially offer him an opportunity to run a bench elsewhere. This was obviously written before he got the job today, and then he did get the job in Chicago.
So, well, that's good.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think, okay, so we've talked about this before, and there's a lot of cultural sensitivities that you have to tackle when it comes to Francophone versus Anglophone in Quebec. It's very, and it's unfortunate right now, especially because it's very versus rather than very together.
It's super anti-Anglo.
And it's hard as an Anglo to understand unless you grow up in it.
Yeah.
And it's hard as a Franco to understand the Anglo point of view outside of it because they feel like their culture and their language are being taken away from them by virtue of the fact that a lot of the world, a lot of the world's basic language is English. It's like this is my home country's tongue, but I also speak English. I'm from India, but I speak English. I'm from China, but I speak English. And so imagine being in a country where it is a dual language and they want to protect that. So there's that part of it. And there's a lot of Montreal Canadiens fans and people who are from Quebec who look at the Montreal Canadiens as like, this is a French representing club.
It's part of the fabric.
It represents the nationhood, which they've been granted, nationhood of Francophonage in, I don't know if that's the right word, but Francophones in Canada. That's the sport representation of it. So from that perspective, I can understand. The problem that it presents is that you can run into situations where you're limited and you have to hire Michel Therrien twice. And right? Yeah. And it doesn't mean that there isn't a mountain of crazy talent coming out of Quebec when it comes to hockey. But if you can imagine Ontario, which is, 14 million of 36 million in this country?
Something like that.
Imagine the Leafs said to you today, we are only going to hire from Ontario. Only people from Ontario can work for the Leafs. You'd be like, that's really dumb because you want to get the best person available, not the person who's from that particular location.
Even though the pool is large,
it
should be bigger.
It should be as big as you can get it. But again, the Leafs and the Habs are not the same.
Right.
It's a
what
different
if
thing.
we said we're only going to build a roster of former Sioux Greyhounds, and then we end up with the Toronto Maple Leafs? You're probably losing the first round. I don't know.
I don't know that.
Someone's going to clip that and you're going to be in trouble.
I don't know. The Leafs just acquired Darnell Nurse.
If we ever have Kyle Dubas
and they got Nick Ritchie back as well.
I don't know if Kyle Dubas would ever do this show. He only tends to do Overdrive and whoever's doing afternoons at 590. But if we ever get that chance to have him on the show, we got to tease him about
The Leafs
that.
told me that they don't do podcasts, which was very annoying because like a month later they did a podcast. So hopefully, that was a while ago. Hopefully
they don't do
changed
this
their tune.
podcast. Is that what they're saying?
That's the way I interpreted it, Adam. But we'll try again.
You know what? I won't take it personally.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Francophone thing in Montreal, it's a thing. Like, I respect the idea that they want a coach who can speak French to represent them.
Yeah.
Julian McKenzie, I don't know if it's a clip on our channel, but he had a really thoughtful mini essay on it, and CJ sort of turned the microphone over to him because, Julian has a very...
Is Julian thoughtful?
Yes. But he has a unique perspective that we don't have.
Of course.
Where, he lives there, and I don't know if Julian is Francophone or not.
He speaks French.
He speaks French, but that doesn't make him a Francophone.
Right.
And that's very different. Like, if I spoke French, people in Quebec would not be like, one of us.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm an Anglophone, literally an Anglophone. I have family from England, so it's a little different. French speaking versus Francophone is different. So then I remember part of the conversation being, okay, is it necessary that you speak French or
be Francophone?
Be a Francophone.
Clearly it's not be a Francophone.
Right.
It's clearly just, and you know what? I don't know how long Luke Richardson was in Montreal, and I know as a head coach you don't have a lot of time, or as an assistant coach you don't have a lot of extra time. But if you know that and you want the job, you're going to have to learn to speak it.
Are you telling him to get Duolingo?
I'm telling him that, what's the other one? It's Duolingo and the stone, the Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone.
You won't believe it. Just 5 short weeks, I learned to say several sentences.
Are you saying last offseason he should have fired up Rosetta Stone?
If you want to be, listen, like it or lump it, you want to be the coach of the Montreal Canadiens, learn fucking French.
You need that guy.
That's what it is.
You can
disagree.
wrong.
You can disagree with it. You can say it's wrong. I think Randy Cunnyworth, I'm not sure Randy Cunnyworth, when he was the coach, spoke French, and that was a fucking disaster.
And the whole time he was there, everyone was like, boo! We cheer for your inevitable failure. Go away. And then he did and never came back.
That's right. So I think, listen, it is what it is, whatever side you fall on. To me, it's sort of like that is the policy, so that's what you got to do. Marty St. Louis came in and did a great job, so you're good. Luke Richardson, it's good to see him get a shot at this because I actually think this guy is one of those next up-and-coming coaches. I really think he is going to be able to get a team that, and no offense, Canadiens fans, but outside of Shea Weber and Carey Price, that wasn't, first off, it wasn't a team that was used to its full potential. You know, scratching Cole Caulfield and Lettinen, and
they should have swept the Leafs.
No, but I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Like they just never. Look at how terrible Cole Caulfield did until literally the coach was fired this year. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That was so weird.
It's like his career took off again when Ducharme was gone. I think
it's like when Bruce Boudreau told Brock Besser to shoot.
I think Luke Richardson's going to be the kind of guy who gets a system in place where he's going to be able to maximize on outside of Patrick Kane. A minimally talented roster, especially if that roster no longer includes DeBrincat.
I think that's the big complication this summer. Is Chicago trades both those guys.
You think Kane will get traded?
Kane and Taves, yeah. And shitter get off the pot.
Who's going to trade for Taves' deal? Half it, maybe?
It's only 1 year left.
Yeah, but it's $10.5 million.
Yeah, but you add that at the deadline, so the remaining cap's going to be like $3 million bucks
maybe you
for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Could be difficult.
It's going to be no money.
Yeah, it could be difficult to do, but I like if you're Chicago, I almost feel like that needs to be a priority. Shit or get off the pot. Or extend.